I should say that it has a lot of jokes. It's a travel memoir, but it's not like it's not like John Milton who said he wrote Paradise Lost to justify the ways of man to God. There's a lot of sugar to help just a little bit of medicine go down. But you're right. As you said in your intro, I'd been working at a small internet company in New York City when this very small trade magazine ranked me 96 out of the 100 most influential people involved in technology in New York. Not a huge achievement. It was the late 90s, and the magazine later went out of business. But at the time, I realized, I said, oh my God, I have two choices. I can either spend the rest of my life working my way up the list, or I could cancel my subscription. So I was really burnt out. I had a health issue, and so I thought, oh my God, I can either turn my life upside down now, or I can try to do it in 30 years, but by then it might be too late. So I bought a one-way ticket to an island called Yap, and bought a bunch of books, and sublet my apartment, and broke up with my girlfriend, and that's basically where the story starts. I think there are three fantasies everybody has. One is like moving to a small island in the Pacific. The other is starting a bar that's on the beach maybe or something, or starting their own bar. And the third is starting a bed and breakfast in Vermont. And I'm not really into the hospitality industry, so and I'd had this screensaver, the like classic screensaver of the palm tree over the ocean, and so late one night at work, I actually Googled, and this is a little embarrassing, Sophia, but I Googled nice Pacific island. And it turns out there's something like 29,000 islands in the Pacific. So then I Googled really nice Pacific island, and the one that came up was Yap, and that's basically how I chose it. But I should say, I was curious too if this idea, if paradise with like a capital P, if it still existed, and if so, why didn't people just move there? I'm not sure if it was really an ambitious quest or a really unambitious quest, but that's what I did. And so I arranged to go to an island called Pig, which is an outer island of Yap, and you can only get there by freighter, and you have to get permission from the Council of Chiefs. But the way that the boat works is that you basically only have an hour on shore before the boat leaves again. And so I had to go and present myself and ask if I could stay. I was too in the moment to realize like what would have happened if somebody from like Yap had shown up to my apartment in New York and said, I had this idea of paradise and it looks almost exactly like your apartment. But they don't get a lot of visitors, and so they welcomed me